we're expanding the context that created the breakthrough in the first place. Then when breakdowns happen, people ignore the context that created the breakthrough in the first place. It's like, okay, something great happened. Now we might get a big stamp of denial or blah, blah, blah. So when you ignore the context, then what do you have left? Like, what's actually there for you when you ignore the context that created that breakthrough? Let me say it this way, because I think there's a piece missing. What happens when you cause that breakthrough, and then a breakdown happens, and then you ignore the context that created a breakthrough?
You go back to what we inherited.
Yeah, you go to the familiar, go to the inherited. And you are left with trying to fix what's wrong. You can't create a breakthrough by fixing what's wrong. The access to sustaining a breakthrough is to continually generate the context that caused the breakthrough in the first place. So the access to sustaining a breakthrough is to continually generate the context that caused that breakthrough in the first place. Generating context and possibility is the access to expanding breakthroughs. So I want to hear from a couple of you. What are you actually seeing for yourself? Yeah. I said please. Generating context and possibility is the access to expanding breakthroughs. Now I want to say something with the word generate. It actually takes something. It may not be easy, it may not be comfortable, but it really does take something to generate it. You know, today it occurred for me that I just need to do what I'm doing, just keep going. I really got to fix this. Rather than taking a moment and actually calling somebody and creating a whole new context. Like it took something. Didn't occur as a thing to do. It's just I've known from the practice of this work, I should probably get in communication with somebody. Right now, I just want to kill people, and I don't want to keep spending money doing it. I get hired a man in the house. I'll just go kill people myself and save some money. Don't worry, I didn't kill anybody because
This is being
wanted
recorded.
to.
Yeah.
It's on camera. Shut that off. Just delete it.
I didn't really mind you.
And I'll tell everyone, no, it was just all a joke.
But if
All right.
you know a good hitman.
You got somebody?
No, I'm looking.
Oh, you're like, okay. Possibility of landmark, this methodology. Power to just take actions you wouldn't normally take. Take bold actions. Oh my goodness.
Totally unreasonable.
All right, so back on track. Generating context and possibility is the access to expanding breakthroughs. So I want to hear from some of you. What are you starting to see? What's opening up? Let's start with DJ and then Christian. Up here.
Hello, everybody. So I'm not totally clear on this yet, which is part of the reason why I wanted to come up here.
Sorry, you said you are what?
Totally clear on the context.
Okay. Okay, good. Good.
But I think I have a context, something like, if I don't make as much money as possible, I won't be okay, and I won't be able to live the life that I want.
Yeah.
But the irony is that I spend all my time trying to make money,
Yeah.
and I push away the life that I want.
Totally.
Yeah, that's a big one for me.
I mean, I think you're smack dab right in there. Because you could get the reality, you could get how it's showing up in your life and what's predictable inside of that. Where you're spending time making money, not enjoying life. And then there's going to be this magical, how much money is it going to be? Probably, it might occur like, what, a million or $1 billion, or you got to be the richest man in the world?
Yeah,
or
that's
what?
just not enough.
Yeah. Yeah, so then you could, have, $5 billion. And inside that context, it's still not going to be enough. Like, well, I'm not the richest man in the world. Well, now I am the richest man. Well, now what else can I do? Blah, 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 blah. all there in the illusion that leaves you not in reality of what's happening here.
Mhm.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And I've been having a really big breakdown in it because I've been, so I have a job, right? And I have this side business, and I've invested heavily into the side business recently because I'd like to see that
Yeah.
become bigger.
Yeah.
And that one has more of like a mission to it, an impact mission.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell myself that I'm like really about, right? It's like, it's for every person that joins one of our programs, we donate to an organization here to feed a kid for an entire year in Colorado. And I tell myself that I'm like all about trying to eliminate hunger in the world because that's just not okay with me.
Yeah.
We have all the solutions possible. We don't need to have hungry people.
Yeah.
But then so like that would be a really cool context. So like spend my time doing that.
Totally.
But I'm very worried about the ability to make money inside of that context and still give myself a life that I want.
Yeah. Brilliant. I think selfies recreated.
Yes.
It's so brilliant because you can start, the beauty of the context is it's a context. It's not reality. It's not even reality. You know, as if there's this magical amount of money and then I'll be satisfied. Until then, there's no satisfaction. And you're not even present to the non-reality you live in. This is what I'm out, this is what I'm about. I'm about making a difference here. I'm about contributing to all these people. I want them to live a better life. Meanwhile, I'm just going to suffer until I'm the richest man in the world.
Yeah.
In a context probably of never enough, or this isn't it. You see that?
Yeah. And it's funny, like I've overbooked myself in so many ways. Out of breakthroughs actually, like causing breakthroughs in work, getting like, job offers and taking courses that are being paid for by my current job, and like I'm just all over the place now.
Yeah.
With no time to dedicate to what I actually want to be doing.
Yeah.
Thinking about taking on another job that required me to work more.
Yeah.
But it's just getting further and further away from.
Because nothing's ever enough. It's never enough.
Yeah.
That's the life of somebody who lives in a context of it's never enough. Right there, loud and clear.
Yeah.
And the beauty is now you get to be responsible for this is a context that I inherited. Not necessarily from your parents, it could be from your parents, but who cares? You inherited the context. Where it came from, for the most part, doesn't matter. Just like my throwing a book, help me get to the source of something. But now I can be responsible for this isn't it. This isn't it. This shouldn't be. So, awesome. What else? Anything else with that?
I mean, I'm still so in it, like I don't think I'm brave enough right now to just quit this and do this.
You don't even have to. We're right here. This is just us being in the junk of it. I'm going to leave you in the junk for a little bit, and then we're going to have somebody come up and create possibility of some possibility for you. I know, I do this to you all the time.
Every time.
Every time.
Every time.
Everyone say, hi, it's Sarah again.
Hi, but I brought backup.
Yes, you did.
You brought it back up?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, but here it is. You want to start to get the power of this. You don't have to leave with fuzzy feelings and, oh, I'm so inspired or any of that. I don't care about that. I know. See, oh, it's so great. Oh, that's just, oh my God, that's just,
What did he say?
it's so great.
They
See,
said,
they
"That's what I
come
come
here
here
to
for."
feel better
Oh, yeah.
or have the funny feelings.
Yeah.
Funny feelings. Funny, fuzzy. Oh, it's so great. Because inside that context of I'm here just to feel better, or I'm here to be inspired. Who cares? Go watch an inspiring movie. Go watch an inspiring movie. Be inspired. See how long that crap lasts. Really? I know, some of you are like, well, screw you. I really came here to, how dare you? No, you should be leaving in the junk of this, of, oh my God, you're telling me moment by moment by moment, my life is about context, and I've got a context, and that's what's running it, and I can't even see it. It's like my eyeballs, but I'm seeing something. This doesn't even make sense. What the heck are you talking about, this context? Okay, well, what's my context now? Well, I hate the seminar. Okay, oh, that's a context. Okay, good. Or this person said this to me, and I'm mad. Okay, what's my context? Or, well, now do I go try to make $1 billion or not? Should I just, what am I supposed to do here? You should be left in that junk, because there's no answer here. I could tell you something inspiring, like, yeah, you could alter the planet. Great, good, go. But it's for you to create the context and actually see what comes from this. Other than that, all that's going to be is just direction. Like we could read books on entrepreneurs, and I think they're all inspiring. I love them, and I see new action to take. But it doesn't give me, there is no manual for your life. There's no manual for Spencer Melfi on May, whatever date this is, in 2018, at this moment of time, of what I'm supposed to do. Actually, in a way, there is a manual. There's a manual. But reading the manual is going to make very little difference. And there's no manual for when I go home tonight, what I'm supposed to do, or how I'm supposed to run my company tomorrow. But what I do know is now I've got the power to distinguish something running the show that's not giving me a reality. Like Jason going into the match against somebody who, in the context of this guy's better than everybody, he's this and that, and in that context, kind of likely Jason's going to lose that match. But what Jason has is he's got transformation, and he could actually set stuff aside, give something up, and be present. And be an athlete who's being present in the moment. That's a whole new world. So, with that, we're going to leave you in the junk for right now. We'll create some stuff later, but stay in the junk. Cool? All right, awesome. Thank you. All right, now, Sarah, come on up here. And since we could create context at any moment, now we're in the context of, oh, you're a little messed up, and blah, 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 blah. But now we could be in the context of, let's see what's up.
Yeah, I thought you were going to create a whole world of things, and then I was going to create this piece of the world. Is that not what we're doing?
No, it's different contexts.
I know. Surprise.
No, it's all you.
It's all me?
It's all you.
Dude, you don't want to give something all me. I thought you were doing a little calendar overlay. Did you already talk about tomorrow night's advanced course evening session?
Okay. Create. What was that?
Oh,
All right, well, we could create
So as you
anything.
know, I'm the master of enrollment. If you want to be enrolled in something, talk to me. And mostly what you want to do is you want to enroll the people you love in the Landmark Forum. Because you're pretty clear that if anybody got what this is, the world would work. If everybody did this, we wouldn't, drive buses into people, or shoot people, or wake up with that actual thought that we suck every morning, no matter how much we try to change the context. It comes back. So,
Hey, that's the next part. We're gone.
yes! So we wanted to lay out some opportunities for you to share and be enrolling. And I thought he was going to do it, and he thought I was going to do it, but we could just play a little dance. And you'll find out what's under here a little bit later, so don't you worry about that.
I forgot.
I know, don't worry about it. So, tomorrow night you
It's a
have...
blind spot. Okay.
Tomorrow night... It's a big hairy blind
That's
spot.
like giving the punchline, right?
It's literally a big hairy blind spot. I couldn't just leave it there.
I'm confused.
It's a big hairy blind spot. You know how you have, you're, huh?
He
You-
was making
yeah,
a
you
joke
can
about
see-
it being a blind spot, and you actually had a big hairy blind spot.
I brought a big hairy blind spot with me because
I'm like the jerk that somebody's like, hey, so these people walk into a bar. Oh yeah, it's this. Good thanks.
man, no. So I was anyway. So this is one of the people who assists with me made a
I
big
totally
hairy
stand
blind
up.
spot. She's an artist. She gave it to me at the weekend of the Interaction Leaders program. So I brought this with me because one of your opportunities to share coming up soon is our special evening about the Landmark Forum.
How is this a blind spot?
Dude, artistic license. Oh my God. Spencer, do that thing you always do. You can't see me, can you? Look, yeah. Also, you can throw it. Because you know you just want to throw and kick your blind spot. She made it so I can throw it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
very exciting. At least I know. So, I brought my big
Don't
hairy.
invite me to your comedy show, I'm just.
So not this Wednesday, like 2 nights from now, but a week and 2 nights from now, we have our special evening at the Landmark Forum, and the theme is your blind spots. You know, y'all got big hairy blind spots. You know, the people in your life have big hairy blind spots. You know, they're still there no matter how often you come here. Doesn't even matter. So come next Wednesday night. We'll do a whole announcement, and we'll do like I think there's a skit, and we'll give you tickets, and we'll give you brochures and stuff like that. But I wanted to give you the date so you can start inviting people and put it in your calendar now. It is May 23rd. And Erin Snyder is leading it. Do you guys know Erin Snyder? She hasn't been around here in a while. She's fabulous. Landmark Forum here, spectacular. And then other opportunities to share and invite people and enroll them tomorrow night, the advanced course evening session. Is everybody coming to tomorrow night?
Oh, tomorrow's the forum.
Oh my gosh, I keep thinking, no, so tomorrow's the Landmark Forum
A
evening
week from
session.
tomorrow is
A
Tuesday.
week from tomorrow is a Tuesday evening of the advanced course, and then the special evening is after that. So it's like boom, boom.
Here's how your life's gonna look. The advanced course for some of you this weekend. Then we have our session Monday. And then there's the Tuesday night, which all of you should go to.
Totally. It's
It's
happening.
different than like a Landmark Forum evening session. You know, it's designed even more for graduates. So there's that. And then a week from now, May 23rd, is a special evening.
Distinguish the blind spots.
Distinguishing blind spots.
Big hairy ones.
Whether it makes sense or not, you're gonna distinguish blind spots.
Dude, when has our work ever made sense and made a difference?
True.
Try to
I
understand the
just-
context, Spencer.
I was pointing out people taking notes.
You mean 2 weeks from tonight, right?
No.
Not next
It's a
week.
Wednesday, it's the
23rd.
23rd.
It's a Wednesday night. It's a week and a half from now. Wait, sure. The 23rd.
May 23rd. You have tickets next week.
And
And then June 4th is our final session. You
oh,
guys could have cried.
all right.
No?
Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Did you want anything else from me?
No, that was awesome.
Did you want anything else from me?
All
Good to see you guys. Thanks.
right, take that Okay.
Oh, and there's tickets if you want. Well, like I said, we'll give tickets next session. But if you want tickets tonight, because you know you want to keep them there in the back.
And they're better than memory.
They're
We've
so
already
much better than
forgotten what it
memories.
is.
And I'll leave the big hairy blind spot with them so that you can be enrolled.
Thank
Just make sure
you.
that gets back to me.
All right, great. So, okay, so now a couple of things. Okay, so where were we? Context. I'm getting a little messed up. It's all context. There's a context now. Now, I wanted, we're gonna have another conversation. Okay,
Spence,
yeah.
I was gonna share something, but
Oh, did I call? I called on you. Get on up here. Yes. I even had that thought. Like, DJ, I don't see another person. I thought I did. Please share.
What was the context? Yeah. So I've had a context of, and so I got some coaching today, and I mean, they just sort of blasted it, and it was, I've had a context that I'm sort of the, smart kid on ideas, but weak on details.
Yeah.
So they're kind of for other people. So I get help with that, but mind blowing. I mentioned a while back that my business is having trouble. Well, it's done.
Yeah.
Lawyers, pissed off shareholders, no. But it's actually the breakdown that's causing the breakthrough.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I lost my house and have had to move and also breakthrough, right? Because there's nothing after those two things. So I get to create meaning inside that. But that's a side point.
Well, you don't, yeah, I mean, you automatically will.
Right, yeah, exactly. So I'm a smart kid, but sort of a space cadet for details. I'm all about ideas, so I think you do big things, but the details are for somebody else. So since I don't have the details, I can't be responsible for what happens. Like I did my best, did all this cool shit. Started 2,000 nonprofits. Why are the shareholders mad? Well,
Yeah.
they wanted to, that's like secondary, right? They gave up a lot of money.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and in
so
that
I end up
context-
without integrity.
In that context for the shareholders, that's totally valid.
Right,
They are a shareholder.
right,
Yeah,
first,
makes money.
right. So then I'm wondering what happened, disconnected from being present with myself, what I'm actually responsible for. So if I don't get that and get this that we're doing right now, then I'll just go do it again. But what I did was I decided to get real responsible and get into the details, and I just started like paying stuff that I'm like, I don't know how, I don't really have the money, right? But I have a lawn bill for the house that I'm being forced out of by my ex-wife, who pulled the deal at the 11th hour. I was supposed to buy the house, all this. So I pay the True Green bill that they can't collect on, right? It's like not the kind of thing they put in collection. And then I start getting phone calls with like big opportunities, and people like, how do I wire you money? I need a nonprofit. I have this worldwide project with, you know. So I start doing this more, and I'm like, how can I get more into integrity?
Yeah.
And how can I get more into the detail and actually feel the responsibility for what's going on? And then, of course, for a second, I was like, well, I should somehow be, you know, this should get me off the, I didn't even consciously say this should get me off the hook.
Yeah.
But I'm like, how do I make the shareholders so they're not angry? Because somehow I'm gonna keep doing this integrity thing, and like, I'll even pay them back down the road, even though I don't owe them because this was equity, you know? And of course, you catch yourself like working through this stuff and sort of still trying to squirrel out of the responsibility of even feeling like shit about what's going on.
Yeah.
But that context, you know, sort of got blown up in my face by a coach that's like, guess what? Here's your problem. And as he's about to write it down, I'm like, details do matter. And anyway, that was a huge context that would just lead to further
Yeah.
destruction, and it's like not having your glasses on. Oh, I can't see it, so I'm not responsible for it. But if you run a guy over because you didn't have your glasses on, what are they gonna say in court? Well, you didn't have your glasses on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that guy's broken legs.
Yeah. Oh, it's so great. And now, and this is for everybody, because Krishna, you know, I think it's whatever the context was. There was a context of, you know, or just not even whatever, the way you said it. Like, you know, I'm not the details guy. This is just how things go. Like, there's a whole world of Christian's life. And then there's a new context of, let's be a man of my word, or let's start restoring integrity, or integrity is very important, or, you know, what was the context around integrity? What was it?
Yeah, that like,
It could have even been, I should. It doesn't even have to be super empowering, but whatever the context was, that's what started creating the actions of you restoring integrity.
right, yeah, it sort of snapped into place that like being out of integrity, whether or not I, you know, feel responsible or have some excuse, is directly correlated to my success.
Yeah. Yeah.
So obviously I have good ideas because some company's buying
Yeah.
what's left of my company,
Yeah.
and they think they're gonna make $1 zillion. And I've got probably more of those where that came from.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna help me.
Yeah.
It's the integrity that's gonna make that all sort of the rubber hit the road.
Awesome.
Yeah. it's
Awesome. Great. Thank you.
huge. Thanks.
All right, cool. So new conversation, and then we will get to some of the good stuff with the context. So you guys can leave happy. Feeling good. Just kidding. That's not going to be my intention. But we'll start getting to the creation of it. But first, I want to talk about the Landmark Seminar Program. So this is the seminar program, which is pretty obvious. You know, and just like Michelle was creating, there's a whole curriculum for living, and there's a point to it, you know, or like, I know Gail had created this weekend where there's, you know, it's like the form gets you to nothing, or not Gail, Gail was creating with me what Michelle created, but did I say Michelle or did I? Gail. Carol has the context of, that's annoying. This is annoying. Just tell your story. Details don't matter. Details don't matter. So, you're so funny. You say the funniest things. So anyway, we're going to create more of the seminar program in the next session, but I want to create something. So if if you're not registered for the advanced course, or, even after your advanced course, I highly, and I will tell you all day long, do the self-expression and leadership program. Like that will, you'll hear more about that. But the seminar program, for those of you in the seminars, you want to have some context of transformation available to you. And now I've been in this work for 10 years, and like I've said many times, there are the 3 years that I didn't participate. I went back into my old patterns. Now there's a lot of stuff that was different, but I was back into a lot of my old ways of being and acting. And then for 7 years, I participated almost nonstop, but there would be months where I would go, oh, I need a break, or I'm good, or even have the same thoughts of I'm just going to process this, or I've got to get some things fixed and deal with some stuff in my life. And I would notice, and it would be like a rude awakening after a couple months of, like, I knew it, there needs to be a context, something that gives me power. And you don't even have to believe me, but I really do say, try that on, because it is the design of a human being. And you'll probably notice that a lot between our sessions 9 and our session 10, because we've got a 3-week gap. You're going to notice your old patterns. You'll probably notice it tomorrow morning when you wake up. You're like, oh, okay. Context, screw that thing from last night. So a couple hours later, oh, yeah, this is context. So anyway, I want to talk about 2 of the seminars coming up. So there's the relationship seminar, which is one of my favorites, because there's a distinction there that gets rid of that whole victim mentality in relationships. And it's going to really fight against that relationships are a 50-50 thing. Oh, they're 50-50. It takes 2 to tango. Well, you got to give and take. You got to sacrifice. You're gonna fight that for maybe like 4 or 5 sessions, but you're gonna fight that. And then at some point in that seminar, there's gonna be just that, I've got power here. I can be any way in any relationship. And that's what you're going to be trained and developed in. And then, and this one, the other one, which I think is really interesting, this is so Sue Mullen. Has anybody been in a seminar with Sue Mullen? You are currently in a seminar. Or you just, oh yeah, you just had, okay. So, so Sue, she's been leading for 14, 15 years. She is masterful. She is, she's awesome. But she's been leading, she just led a brand new seminar, Be Here Now. And she took a poll with all of you that were in it. Did you take the poll? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And for the longest time, all I've heard from people is, when is sex and intimacy going to come? And it's not going to be that. And then when is money and fitness or whatever? Like all I've heard was money and sex. Those seminars. When are they going to happen? And I'm like, or money. We're hiring hitmen. We got money and sex. You guys are more mature. You're more mature than me. I'm supposed to be the immature. So anyway, I'm saying that because I thought that, this is a seminar with like 150 people or 110 most of the time that were in there. So I thought with all these people have been participating for 40 years, people that just did the Landmark Forum and this was their second seminar, every range, even some people in there that have led seminars. I thought that the number one, when they did a poll on what seminar, if you could have any seminar, what would it be? And this was a seminar. It was effectiveness. And so I'll say more about it next session. But I was surprised, because I don't really know much about it, so now I've got to go, okay, what is this? But I know it's a two-part seminar. There's effectiveness and then velocity. And we had it here like 4 or 5 years ago, or maybe a little bit longer. But anyway, this I guess is the seminar. So, what's that? For sex and money. You can have breakthroughs in sex and in money. And you'll have effectiveness with it. I mean, this is transformation. You know, this isn't going to be your note-taking. Okay, I do this, I do that. No, this is as lived, your life as effective. Okay, so I'll say more about that next week, and bring your maturity next week. Yeah.
Who did you say was doing the relationships seminar?
That one is Mary Grace.
And just for the record, I think those three, when we voted on them, it was about equal for all three of them.
Was it equal?
It was pretty close.
Okay.
I had to count hands, and it was, just from an eyeballing it, it was about equal.
Oh.
For all the sex one, the money one, and the one that went.
I'll see if I can get some of those numbers. I remember Sue and I were talking about it. I was like, I thought that's all I hear from people is we want this, but it was effectiveness.
Yeah.
So anyway, I guess that's how great it is that it surpassed those. So anyway, you'll have an opportunity to register into those next week. Oh, and effectiveness, you have to have done a seminar to be an effectiveness. So it's a graduate seminar, so those seminars are done at a higher level. You know, and even relationships is considered a graduate seminar, meaning that you have had to do one, but we've been able to design it for people right out of the forum and people that are, you know, have done a seminar before. But just so you know, so if you've got people in the forum in June, because when is that? I think it's July 24th. It's my dad's birthday. Yeah, so even if you have people that are doing the forum before that, they're not going to be able to be an effectiveness with you. If they're coming right out of the forum, they could do the relationship seminar with you, but just so you're clear on that. And there are no exceptions.
Well, the relationship starts before.
Oh yeah, relationships. Oh yeah, that starts soon. Okay. I'm interested in your context right now. All right. Okay, cool. So that's that. Now let's have another conversation. So we want to look at what, oh, let me just make sure I completed on that. I think I said some of this. But you'll have an opportunity to register next session into what's next. And then there's another seminar, Excellence in the Zone, that starts in early July that we might have papers for. But I really do recommend. Is there a weird noise now? I'm like a squirrel, or like a dog with a squirrel right now. Squirrel. So, okay, let's get off track here. All right, so we now want to look at what it takes to develop an ability to generate and expand contexts. So as with anything, development in this area will require practice. Now, what is there to practice? What you can practice is giving up ways of being that displace possibilities and creating ways of being that generate possibilities. So we're now going to give you an opportunity to create exactly what you can practice to generate and expand breakthroughs. So does everybody have a notebook? Or does anybody need a notebook? These aren't notes, this is an exercise. Difference of context there. Exercise notes on what's being said. God, you guys will fight for everything, huh? All right, and open up your notebook. Anybody need a pen? All right. Open up your notebook and turn to a clean page and make 2 columns. And then at the top of the left-hand column, write down ways of being I have that displace possibility. ways of being I have that displace possibility.
Are you saying displays or displace?
Displace. D-I-S-P-L-A-C-E. Ways of being I have that displace possibility. And begin to write. You know, what are the ways of being that I have that don't work and leave me or others with no possibility?
That's one column that is built.
Yeah, one column.
You haven't put anything about the second column, that's correct.
Correct. All right, you can keep writing, but I just want to hear some, just a couple of them. So when I call on you, just say, these are a couple of mine. So yeah, Christina? All right. Yeah, Meredith?
Bullheaded, dismissive, shut down.
Bullheaded, dismissive, and shut down. All right, what are some more? Sky?
Wait until I'm better informed, more certain, prepared, not ready, not yet. Delay.
And with that, I will take notes. I'm just gonna drive that home, just to stir stuff up. Yeah, Jesse?
Indecisive, quiet, and timid. Lazy,
Indecisive, tired.
antisocial.
Yeah. All right, good. Okay, yeah, one more, Christian?
Confused, growing many fits, being tired, overwhelmed, busy.
Got it, yeah. And then any others that you could add could be being afraid, being angry, being upset, being on it, being in your head, pouting, yeah. Being resigned. All right. Add any that you want to steal from people. And then now we're going to make a second list. Okay, on the top of the right-hand column, write down ways of being that I create that generate possibility. So what are the, I'll say that again so you can get it. Ways of being that I create that generate possibility. So ways of being I create that generate possibility. And start writing down what are the ways of being that you create that generate possibilities for yourself and for others. He was playing with the blind spot back there, which is blind to all of you guys. And it's not blind to me.
I could see you looking at a squirrel.
Oh, man. Okay, so let's hear from some of you. What did you write down? What are some of the empowering ways? Yeah, DJ? We'll go to Meredith. You stand up, please.
Vulnerable, passionate, focused, powerful, and soft-willed.
I'm sorry, I'm
Awesome.
having trouble hearing. Speak up.
Vulnerable, passionate, focused, powerful, unstoppable, enrolling.
Could you hear him? Or?
Yes.
Sometimes we talk quiet, but then if we yell at our children or something, or we yell at somebody, you could be heard. Yeah, awesome. All right, thank you. All right, let's acknowledge everybody at the end. So Meredith.
I said kind, I'm authentic, accepting.
Speak up, please.
Yeah, kind, authentic, accepting, integral, confident, present, creative, intuitive.
Awesome. All right, good. Let's have a couple more people. Yeah, Jeff.
I'm free to be who and what I want to be. I can be the man and husband and father I want to be. I'm fearless. I'm more interested in others' pain and experience than I am in my own. I'm free and fearless.
Beautiful. All right, let's acknowledge everybody. Okay, and so some that we heard or that you could steal: being your word, being responsible, being enrolling, being unreasonable, being courageous, being coachable. All right, so your assignment between now and the next session has 2 parts. So first, you'll select 1 or 2 ways. We'll go over this in a moment too. But first, select 1 or 2 ways of being that you have that displace possibility, and practice giving up those ways of being. And then next, you'll select 1 or 2 ways of being that you create that generate a world of possibility, and practice bringing those ways of being to every aspect of your life. So the critical part of this assignment is to bring those ways of being that generate possibility to your life in those moments and circumstances where there is no possibility present.
Please say that all again. I
It's
listened
in your
to every
assignment.
word and missed it. It's just with you.
Yes,
on this.
No, I'll say it again.
I know. It's with you.
The critical part of this assignment is to bring those ways of being that generate possibility to your life in those moments and circumstances where there is no possibility present. Yeah. I mean, that could be it for all of transformation. You know, if you go, oh, I haven't had my big breakthrough, or I haven't had a breakthrough in this area, it's easy to bring possibility when circumstances are great. Oh yeah, anything is possible. We really could transform the planet. Oh, this is great. And then turn on the news. And then see stuff happening. And it's pretty easy to go, there's no way. Or how about look at your life? How am I supposed to bring possibility when there's no money in my bank account? Or bring possibility. Or how am I supposed to bring possibility when, no, you haven't spoken with my ex-husband? He really is this way. Those are the moments we're talking about. So in other words, when you're in the experience that something is clearly wrong, you're going to continue to generate possibility. So now we're going to do work with a partner. Craig, can you make sure everybody's got a partner? So with your partner, share the ways of being that you have that displace possibility, and the ways of being that you create and generate that possibility. And then, actually, this will be the best practice here. Share with them what you're taking on over the next couple weeks. And you can share your list, say this is what displaces possibility. But with your partner, you want to pick 2 and say these are the 2, or the 1 or the 2 that you're going to focus on. Like, I'm going to have my attention on this week. I get really resigned and I get really upset. And I'm going to practice giving those up. And then you can share from the list of this is what generates possibility and what 1 or 2 that you're going to bring. So that way you don't get overwhelmed in, well, I do this, I do that, I'm a really bad person here, and I struggle here, blah, 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 blah. Clear? All right, so take 2 minutes each.
And how have you done this?
I have the only one by group right now for our meetings.
Perfect.
And so he has 3. I haven't split Jason or you, so there's a total of 25.
Okay. So I need to.
There's 11 beginners.
Okay, so give me all of those and then that leaves 14.
That leaves 14.
Okay, so let me cross off the people and you could give me. I'll take it. They're wanting to. You can take it. 1, 2. I'll take it. Praise.
All right, go ahead and switch. Please switch. right, start to wrap it up. All right, start to wrap it up, and acknowledge your partner. Acknowledge your partner once again. In the kindest words, please stop talking. In the most gracious and caring way, please stop talking. Okay, so now for the next week, I just want to create some context. So now you're going to be in the rough, and you'll be in the trenches with now distinguishing your context. Now this is the most powerful, you could, just like we said, you could boil all of transformation down to context. There is a context of who people were for you before the forum, there is a context after. Then you found evidence for, oh no, this person really is this way. All context. And at any moment you're not creating the context, there is a default context. So you don't need to spend the week really trying to figure out and create the most inspiring or powerful context and expecting it to stay. But the most powerful piece will, especially for this as a practice,